morning, everybody, and welcome to the Flying Lap. We're here at Pueblo Motorsports Park for the Home of the Heroes event, and we're ready to send it. What do you think, Trey?
I think today's pretty exciting. We've got about 33 drivers right now, which is really darn close to the number of road racers that we've got out on track today. It's the first really big track where we can kind of stretch our legs out and see what our cars are made of, so I'm super pumped.
Yeah, Pueblo's 2.2 miles, and it's got 10 turns. Should be a rowdy time.
Oh yeah. We've already been called out to the grid, so we're going to go ahead and grid up now, and let's see what we can do on our first out session. First session, we're going to have both run groups together, the novices with the advanced
It's considered
group.
a practice, yeah.
It is a practice.
They'll count the times if we want.
Doesn't mean we're not going to try to go fast.
Hold it in.
They throw the check and they're going to exit at 7.
Isn't that what they would do normally, all right? Okay, do that.
Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, it's too late to try to go contain it. A generation fueled by creation. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt to all, survive and save it. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong.
Well, I just got back from our first practice race, and I definitely yeeted it off the course. Second lap in, I just sent it too hard on, I think it was turn 4. It's nothing too bad, the car looks fine, but it was just a little greasy. I came in real tight on the bank, and I don't know, the rear end just lost as soon as I got into the gas, and I'm only on my my low boost map right now. I haven't even turned it up yet. So I'm hoping maybe when it warms up a little bit, I'll get a little more grip out there, because the car's definitely turning into the corners, but I don't feel like I have any rear grip yet. God, that was wild. Track Addict says I did a 145. Let's see if I can pull it up real quick. 145.3, which is actually really fast. I think that's within 1/10 of a second of my PR here. Really good for my practice lap, but I guess my transponder didn't come in, so I'll have to figure that out, get back with everybody.
So that was a pretty wild first session. As you have seen, I've lost control coming through on turn 5. I've got a fresh alignment. I've got quite a bit of negative camber up front on the car and not as much in the rear. I definitely have more grip. Basically, this is Bunker Ben. Say hi, Bunker Ben.
Hey, not gonna hit any bunkers this
No
weekend.
bunkers this weekend?
Nope.
You gonna get a new nickname?
Yeah.
Slow Ben? Oh, Fast Ben. Oh, okay, sorry, I had that wrong. Anyways, so basically coming into turn 5, went ahead and pulled the wheel over to the right. And as soon as I turned the wheel, the rear end came out the opposite direction. You can see me kind of drift all the way off track from there. There was quite a few fast times that were ran. I think that it'll start to get a little bit faster as we grid up and kind of go through. I'll go ahead and post the times now so you can see kind of where everybody's at after the first session. And we've already been called out, first call to grid for our second session of the day. So time to go get ready. After our first session for Unlimited, we come in with Corey Ross in first place with a 1 minute 42.462, which is a bit off pace from his previous best, but I do expect that he's going to get faster as the weekend progresses. Daryl Allman has quite the gap, coming in at 146.378 with his raw time. But if you look at his time index, he's actually not too far off, with only 2 seconds roughly off from Corey. Cash is sitting in third place with a 148. Then we have Adam Wood, Jet Johnson, Preston, and the last 4 that are listed here have yet to be on track. For Max Class, Ryan Sotek comes out swinging with a 144.944, which puts him in a 138.647 with his Max 4 time index. Brandon Oglesby is almost 7 seconds behind that with his time index of 145.256. Ricky Medell is coming in just 2 seconds off of Brandon with a 147.489. Then we have Rich, myself, Sergio, and Dustin Neal. And Kevin and Richard are yet to join us for the weekend. Our top 3 in tuner are much tighter than the Unlimited and Max classes. Sun Chen coming in at a 140.077 with index. Ben Martin just over a second behind him, and Jeffrey West is about 3 seconds behind Ben. From there, we kind of drop down into the 148s and 49s, and then ultimately we have Alice Stern and Adam Sheehan, who have not yet shown up for the track. Lastly, we're going to have a battle here with Devin Villalobos and Trip Narrow for our first day. Devin Villalobos coming in with a 150.436 with index. Trip has a lot of time that he's going to have to make up over the weekend to go ahead and topple Devin. So we're out of session 2, and it went much better than the first session, at least for myself. I didn't go off this time. We have a lot of people that are picking up a lot of speed. Ben Martin just ran a low 44, so he has the new Tuner 3 record. I think Devin Villalobos as well. He doesn't know it yet, I don't think, but he just picked up the Sport 3 track record for this weekend so far. We have Siraj, which is a new guy. It's his first time out here at this track. He's riding in this red BRC here. He's just a second off of the Tuner 4 track record. And I don't know, I'll put some times up on the screen. It's too hard to keep it all together. We've got a long time now before our last session. Our last session is going to be at the tail end of the day. It's still 10:30 right now. I don't think we go on till about 4. So we're just going to be hanging out and having some lunch here pretty soon. Yep. For Unlimited class, we have improvements for most drivers across the board. Although I have highlighted the individuals that have jumped in the standings for this session. Darrell Allman was able to overtake Corey Ross with an index time of 137.905. While Corey did improve his time to a 139.684, it's just not enough to beat Darrell's index. Adam Wood did jump ahead as well into 3rd place, just over Cash. Much like in Limited class, Max class also sees lots of improvements across the board. Trey Tyler is able to move up in the rankings from 5th place to 2nd place with a 142.453, putting him right behind Ryan Sotak at 138.647. There's still quite a huge gap in time between Trey's and Ryan's index. Dustin Neal as well is able to jump in the standings up to 4th place, running a 144.202. For Tuner, most of the magic is happening in the middle of the pack. Michael McKissick has jumped up to 4th place with a 144.324, and Siraj as well in Tuner 4 in that BRZ has jumped up to 5th place with a 151.140. In Sport class, Trip Narrow was able to shave almost 5 full seconds off of his time, but he's still not quite fast enough to overtake Devin Villalobos with his 150 index time. All right, Sergio. We're here with your 1999 Porsche Carrera
911 C4S.
C4S.
Yes.
All right, can you tell me a bit about this car?
Well, it's a naturally aspirated 911. It's had lots of modifications done with the suspension, the transmission, coilovers, a lot of basically race-ready mods. So pretty much, I'd say about 15 to 20% stock. Engine's had a full rebuild. I got a half cage running in it. Everything's pretty much stripped out of it. All you see is just skin shell on the inside. And it's pretty much just for the track, except for the track. Diffuser's just set up for getting it, nice airflow underneath the car, nice movement. Suspension is set with 2-degree cambers in the front and 2-degree in the back. We'll be extending later. And that's with the GT4 coffin arms that are on this. The suspension's made by Goodspeed. All the torsion arms front and rear are made by Eibach. And pretty much, it's a hell of a car. Doesn't run that much horsepower. It doesn't need to. It's naturally aspirated, but it runs about 340 to 350 horse with about 370 torque. All-wheel drive. It's a great vehicle to run.
Oh yeah, and so I haven't seen you out on track yet. This is the first time that I've been on track with you. You've been, you had like a hiatus last year, a little bit.
Last year I took the whole car off track and I rebuilt the entire motor, rebuilt the engine, and then I rebuilt the entire suspension, drivetrain for this whole car, and just took the whole year off just rebuilding it.
So how does it feel now in comparison to the 2020 season?
Completely different animal.
Oh yeah.
There is zero lean. It's like you're stuck to the track as fast as you could go. Performance-wise and time-wise on the track is just skyrocketed compared to what it was. But I came out here 2 weeks ago, and first time ever on Pueblo Motorsports Park, I was getting about a 210.
Okay.
Now I'm pushing a 152. Looking at trying by the end of this day, hopefully getting to a 149, then getting less next
All
tomorrow.
right. Hell yeah, for sure. Cool. Well, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
No problem.
So I'm here with Jet, and this is Jet's vehicle. I'll let him talk a bit about it. Today is Jet's first time out on a road course. Jet has done a lot of Track Attack and stuff like that before. I think this has been out before at Track Attack, is that right?
Yes, it has. I've been at the PPIR Track Attack and then also their track sprints.
And the track sprints,
So
okay.
this is my first time on a road course with other drivers. So
Okay.
I'm sorry for everyone who's on the track with me.
No, you're doing just fine. So tell me a little bit about this thing. It's kind of, it's a mystery to me. I've never seen something like it before.
So yeah, this is my company's flagship car. This is our 2021 Little Dipper.
Little Dipper.
I started a company called Leadfoot Racing. We're hoping to try to make racing a little more attainable for people. I never could afford to. So this is what we had initially come up with. It's powered by a 2003 Kawasaki ZZR 1200 sport bike engine.
Okay.
It makes about 165 horsepower, 120 foot-pounds of torque, and it weighs 1,250 pounds.
Oh, nice. How does that feel on track?
Compared to the last engine, which made 85 horsepower, amazing.
Amazing.
I can almost keep up with the stock STIs out there. It's close.
So you're running some, looks like some RT660s.
Yep, yeah, so I just got these about a month ago. These are my first set of kind of sticky tires.
Okay.
They're a 225, 45, R15, RT660s.
Okay.
Huge upgrade from the 5-year-old all seasons that I was previously running. As you can tell, we have amazing coilover suspension. That is Speedmaster, like off the shelf, perfect.
Off the shelf. So, okay.
It's running a 6-speed sequential gearbox. We have racing pedal boxes out of Spain, one of their pedal boxes in the car. Remote mount reservoir is kind of easy to accessible, or easy to access when you need to. We're running the poor man's dry sump with our AccuSump by Moroso.
Oh, nice.
It runs BMW E39 front and rear subframes, brakes, diff, axles. If they made it, it's probably on there.
Oh, nice. Well, have you, how have you been doing as far as times? I mean, I'll go ahead and put the times up and we can compare like your first session to your second session, but tell us a bit about that. And do you have any goals for the rest of the weekend, as far as time goes? Like challenging yourself, basically.
I honestly haven't even seen my time at this point.
Okay.
My buddy Ryan, who's my entire crew, is here with me. He has been hand timing me, and I think my best time was 2 minutes flat.
2 minutes flat? Okay.
Yeah, and so I when we tried to pull it up, it wasn't showing at the time, and I haven't checked yet. So
Okay.
I'm hoping to stick in there. There's a BRZ in the class with me, Devin and his STI. I'm trying to kind of be within a couple seconds of them would be ideal.
Okay.
I obviously have no racing background. I haven't even raced sim before.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Cool. Well, we'll definitely be paying a lot of attention to you throughout the season. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Trey.
All right. See you. After the third and final session for our day, the most notable change in our unlimited class is Ryan Dussex. Ryan Desics had to start off that last session from the very tail end of grid. As you can tell, he was fighting through a lot of traffic, but managed a 1:44.251. This jumps him from the back of the pack all the way to third place. I suspect he'll go faster tomorrow, but we'll have to wait and see. For Max Class, Trey Tyler runs a 1:40.053, which manages to put him ahead of Sotek by about 0.6 of a second. Brandon Oglesby and Dustin Neal both very close to one another within less than 0.2 of a second, 1.5 maybe, Dustin. And then we have Rich and Ricky sitting in 5th and 6th place respectively, both running 1:46-minute times, which makes him lead by almost 2 full seconds. Sergio has yet to hit the 1:49 mark. We'll see if we can break into that tomorrow. Tuner class standings after the third session of the day remain the same. Ben Martin is leaving for the rest of the event, hoping that his 1:44.261 can keep him in the second place position. Much like Tuner class, there's no improvements for Sport after the last session of the day. We'll see what tomorrow brings with Dean and Zach joining the roster. So a lot happened by the end of the first day of Pueblo Motorsports Park, Home of Heroes event. You know, at the end of the day, you know, looking at the standings, all I can really think about is you know, what are the outcomes going to be, right? It is not Saturday. I'm filming this after the fact, but I can tell you I came home kind of wondering, honestly, myself, I didn't think I was sitting on top of podium. I thought I was behind Ryan Sotek. My own fault for messing up with my math when calculating the index on my own time. I think Ben Martin as well thought that he was sitting on top of podium also when he left for the end of the day, and probably was unpleasantly surprised when the preliminaries came out to find out that he was sitting in second place. There's a lot of people that weren't in attendance for the first day, some people that were just showing up for one day worth of the event, so that was going to make things really interesting for day two. It's just seeing when these new folks show up, what's going to happen, right? Who's going to go fast, who's going to go overtake. But pretty much from here on out, everything is just going to get faster, right? We've had 3 separate sessions to get really good lap times in. We do grid by the fastest times. So, you know, most of us that have been there, it's going to be easy to go faster. For those that are showing up tomorrow, however, they're going to be grid in the back. So they're going to have to, like Ryan did today, fight through traffic to go ahead and put down that lap time and gradually climb up in the rankings. And the unfortunate thing for them as well is, you know, the fast session is going to be the first session of the day and maybe even the second session of the day. But after that, it gets hot. So if you're just kind of scrubbing in tires and getting a feel for the track, getting a feel for your car, new setups and things like that, it becomes even all the more difficult to put down that fast time. But you'll have to stay tuned for the next episode to find out the final results. I'm Trey Tyler, and this is the Flying Lap.